joining the call today. I had a friend make a video on Instagram. I think he had seen a post about the essence of your resume is being tailored to a particular dimension, and then he dropped a comment that, oh, he has a resume that he did, and in the month of October he got 18 international interviews, and so if anybody will be interested, they should just send a DM. And he had over 100 DMs, right, on Instagram. You could check him out. His name is Victor Jonah. Right. I think I'd shared his portfolio one time on one of our calls here. It's a very good friend of mine. And so he had to make the video because he felt there are many people that are landing paying jobs that have cracked this whole resumes and CVs things, cover letters, and they really do not share. And so it was vulnerable for him to share his resume because he wasn't just sharing the template, he was sharing his own resume. So you could easily see the stuffs he was made of. And so that's why when this session came up, as soon as he saw the flyer, he reposted immediately. And I think he'll be joining the session as well. If he does join, I probably, if I can give him like 5 minutes, if that would be okay for him to just say a thing or two to everyone on the call. At least he has more proofs. I write the CVs. I don't really apply for jobs, but I have people that apply for jobs that get the interviews. But he applies, gets interviews. He's currently working with an international company as well. All right. So, but this particular session, right, is for the newbies. So 0 to Hireable, meaning I've not worked anywhere officially before. I've not been paid to work anywhere before. How can I build a resume with no experience? So from everyone that joined us from Instagram, LinkedIn, or any other social media outlet, you must have seen that this is part 1 of a a career masterclass series. So we're gonna have 3 sessions. We'll have one today, one tomorrow, and then one the following Saturday. That should be Saturday the 13th. All right. So I'd encourage everyone to, in as much as you may not fall into all the categories, there's always something to learn. All right. So just to be sure that I've not been talking to myself for the last 3 minutes, kindly drop on the chat box, I am ready to learn. I am ready to learn. I'm ready to learn. All right. Thank you very much, PBK. Thank you very much. Fantastic. All right. So who is this session for? Thank you very much, Adams. Who is this session for? Right. This session is for students. Like I said, we're going to be segmentalizing the sessions. This particular session is mainly for students. So you're currently in school and you're preparing to enter the job market, and you just want to be aware ahead of time so you don't fall into the no experience threshold or no experience group of complainers, right? You also have this session is for fresh graduates. So maybe you just graduated out of school, just got your first degree, and you want to jump into the career pool, right? Or maybe I've not even gone for NYSC, so you're just thinking, okay, before I go into my NYSC, do I need a guide so that I'll know where to even put for my PPA if that's even possible? And then you're already an you're already a copper, right? You're already serving. You're looking to transition because some of you may be deployed to firms that you generally don't even have anything to do with to start with. But then you cannot say just because I'm there, I have to now start working in that light. You probably want to transition into what you want to do. So that is a question for some of you here. And then entry-level seekers, right? Anyone struggling with no experience as IT. So probably you'll finish your NYSC and you're waiting to get a job, or rather you're already making your applications. All right, so this session is for you as well. Now the real problem, right, when people often say, oh, I don't have experience, the phrase that stops applications before they start. Some people don't even apply for a job will just even come at them the moment they just maybe read they don't even need to even read. Some people already say, I don't have experience, I don't have experience, I don't have experience. Or some go ahead to read the about the job, and then when they see maybe even 0 to 1 year experience, they still feel like, oh, there's 1 year there, but I don't have an experience, then I shouldn't apply for the job. Then there are some people that they have applied so much, but they've had endless rejections. All right, no response. Sometimes they even go as far as getting to an interview, but no interview callback. Right, that's a problem, and that's a problem we're looking forward to solving today. There's a blank page syndrome. So you're starting at an empty resume template with no idea of what to write. So some of you already on this call, right? You're saying, okay, but I've been to school, I've done NYSC, but I don't even think there's really anything in these experiences that is even worth penning down. Like, what do I want to write? What can I say is the core experience I've had, right, in this space? So you're looking at it, people you probably only have on your resume, you probably have only your name, right, your email address. Maybe you're lucky enough to have gotten a LinkedIn account. That's another thing you're looking at again, that is a blank page. But if there's really nothing there, all right. So that's a problem. But that's a problem we're going to solve today, because we're not agonizers, right? Florence Kennedy once says, don't agonize, organize. So we're going to be organizing in this session. All right. So competing against experience. So some of you, you already, okay, yes, I want to apply for this job. I want to go into this particular discipline, but you feel like you're already outmatched by candidates with years of experience. So how do I navigate to get away from these people and get the jobs, even with these people? Now, before I go into this segment, I've tagged what recruiters actually look for. I want to tell you my own story. All right. It would not be fair that I will come and just do you aspire to perspire to Maguire and not really tell you, what it actually is. All right. I graduated from the university. I studied economics for my BSc degree. But when I was on campus, something took my attention. Right, I loved drama. I loved theater so much. I love music. I love art. I love drama. And unfortunately, I was not in the theater arts in my department. I was in economics, but I had an opportunity. So when I was on campus, I was in a campus fellowship. So I was privileged to be in the drama unit. All right, what that means is that we have to have one or two dramas here and then, maybe every other meeting day. Sometimes once in a month. Sometimes 2-3 times in a month. So I was just acting a member, but my enthusiasm was recognized, and so I was given the position of a leader to lead the drama unit. All right. So what that meant was I was going to be thinking of drama ideas. Of course, it was in a church sphere, so of course it's going to be inspiration from God and all that, but it still beckons on creativity at the end of the day. So I saw myself getting feedbacks from other executives and members like, "Oh my God, what did you study?" I said, "I'm studying economics." So like, say lie. These things are top notch. The arrangement, the stage management, those things came easily because I wanted to give my all. So if you're on this platform, you've been giving your all, and you think your resume is blank, I will show you that all you've been given, you have so much to put in your resume. All right. I did not stop there. When I got to, so we organized what we call the Drama Night, big event, right, costing us hundreds of thousands at the time, right? So we had to pull resources together, and that was budgeting, right? We did fund, what we had to pull resources together, was fundraising. So these are skills that you already have, but you don't know how to even put it in. For example, I put on my resume, if I'm going for a role on project management, that I organized a drama night that had over 200 people in attendance. We had 4 different ministrations, 3 plays, 1 musical, same night, and we had one whole drama for 40 minutes, one for ministration. These are things that you pen down. It takes time management to achieve this. It takes effective project management, because you talk about the risk. We applied for halls at the time. Sometimes we get the hall, and then we are going to the hall that day. You get a memo that, oh, and up you double booked, so you have to go and find an alternative. So that's a risk. We do risk monitoring and evaluation. That's a skill, right? So that's why I said one of the things you see here is that recruiters are looking out for skill over titles. That's one of the core things that they are looking out for, what skill over titles. And so I moved from there. When I got into my finals, I took that same experience in programs management, because these are programs done. Programs is like a smaller aspect of project, right? Took this experience, and then I became the graduating winners coordinator. For other fellowships, it's called the FYB coordinator. So I had to manage, before I was managing a unit about 60 people, but we had to do ministrations for a fellowship of over 300 at the time, right? But now I had to manage people that were in finals with me, my peers. I was managing people who were younger before. I was managing my peers. Some are in finals with me, but they are older. Right, I was managing about 80 of them in my campus, and there were 2 of us. So if we merge both campuses together as 2 leaders, we're over almost 200. Right. So the responsibilities were more. What we're supposed to do, we're going to have what we call a GW day, where awards are given to the graduating winners. We're going to have a GW picnic. We're going to have a GW dinner. And one other event again is like, kind of like an award. But we didn't stop there. So this was the normal routine. These 4 programs were the normal routines for every graduating winners coordinator. But we didn't stop there. We had a talent show in first semester. And then the second semester, we make sure to do another program that was less churchy, more career driven. We called it Shape the Future. Guess what? We had over 1,000 people in attendance as students. Now, if you read my bio and you see that I have run programs to impact over 8,000 people, 1,000 minimum of that 8,000 were on campus, where I did not have a formal experience. But guess what? I went for my NYSC. I served in Taraba State. I served in the Taraba State University as a non-academic staff. But I finished my NYSC March 2021, and I resumed, sorry, February 2021. I resumed as a programs officer of an NGO March 2021. What stood out for me? The programs experience on campus that I was able to package. They sent for me. I left Taraba in December to come to Abuja for the meeting. We had a meeting. The founder was not even in the country. We had a video call, and then the ED he brought at the time just said, "I want to work with Gary." That was all. My interview was done on like just that day. Got the job. They were just waiting for me to finish my NYSC. But what experience did I have before? No work experience, no paid experience, just personal experience that I choose to materialize. So if you're on this call, you're listening to me right now, there are many experiences that you have failed to take cognizance of. You have looked down on the experience, and the experience is looking up onto you. Especially looking up to you to say, okay, pull us out from this place you have kept us, right? So that you can use us to follow your success story when you are already in a job that you naturally would not have the years of experience to qualify for. So the question is, can you do the job? That matters more than what your previous role was. So if I've shown you multitasking, I've shown you project management, I've shown you programs manager, I've shown you budgeting and finance, I've shown you risk management, I've shown you monitoring and evaluation, why would you not give me a project manager role if I wanted it? These are the things you want to be thinking about. Problem solving, so you can identify challenges and create effective solutions. How did I do the program on campus as a student? I thought about it. As many of us that were reading economics at the time, I can tell you that out of about 400 and something in my set, right? Out of that many people, I can tell you that 1/3 had their eyes for CBN, SEC, that's Stock Exchange Commission, and FRS, the Federal Inland Revenue Service. We had our eyes for them for NYC, so that when we go there, they retain us and they pay us big salaries. All right, but I kid you not when I say less than 0.01001% of us actually got into those platforms or actually even there till now. But I found a problem and I said, okay, this is a problem. And because it's a problem, everybody is leaving school, nobody's thinking of creating. And I've always had the desire to turn inhabitants to builder. So I took that idea, shared it with one of my friends in the other, as the other person in the other campus. We set up our own 4-man team, 4-man team, 4 from my campus plus me 5, 4 from his campus on him 5. That's we're 10. We took the vision to the person that started our fellowship on campus, and the rest was history. Guess how much I spent in that entire program that costed millions? 10,000 naira. That's how much I contributed to the bus transport for students from mini campus to main campus. We solved the problem because guess what? We had good number of businesses spring up from that particular event. We have someone currently, you can Google him. His name is Daniel Okafor. He runs what we call Brand Doxel Media. It's a branding agency serving international clients. All right. He first started a book club on campus and he moved from there. You can check online again for Cinemax Cinemas. This was an on-campus cinema that started a few days after the program. She had the idea, she got clarity from that program. We had a ginger farm erupt from there, and so many more that I cannot even remember because I was not even told. We didn't do so. One thing we lacked back then, we didn't have proper record keeping or proper follow-up. I don't even know to today the names and numbers of people that attended. At least not all of them. I have some documentation because a few deformed that day, but not all of them. But we solved the problem. Did we not? I'm asking everyone on the call. Did we solve a problem? People started businesses afterwards. Did they solve the problem that we had originally that people were not thinking of going to create? They were going to inhabit. So check with me. I'm checking if you're on the call. Did we solve the problem or not? If we did, say yes. If we didn't, say no. Thank you, PBK. If we didn't, you can tell us no. Maybe I may be wrong. Thank you, Dan. Adedayo, I don't know, your hands, is it up for we did, or you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question. So,
Okay. Would it be something you can pen down so when we get to the question and answer phase, I'll just take it? Is that okay?
yeah, I'll try to. Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right. So another thing you're looking at for is communication. Can you articulate ideas clearly and collaborate with teams? I showed that because I took the idea I had and I set up a 10-man team. I set up 4 for my campus. I gave another person the responsibility. It was a shared responsibility. But at the end of the day, we are all talking about it. We all can make a boost of that event. But one person had the idea. All right. Tell me, Olua, is it a question you have as well? Your hand is still up, or you were just saying, yes, we did the right, we did the right thing.
I was saying we did the right
Oh, thank
thing.
you. All right, thank you very much. So there's learning ability. Are you eager to grow, adapt, and acquire new skills? Some of you have taken courses as students. I did not take one course as a student, but the only thing I did as an advantage for me was that I was privileged. So there's what we call IMF challenge, right? I'm sure some of you that know something about finance know International Monetary Fund, right? I was privileged to be one out of two students in the whole of Nigeria and the whole of the northern space. Okay, no, I don't think that's the whole of Abuja at the time to represent economics as a department, NESA as a whole, right, in Abuja for the IMF challenge. We scaled to the second level, right? That was to that. So I get to show you that I learned enough because what the curriculum was nothing we had taught. I joined this challenge in 200 level. This challenge will put on in final year, but we scaled to the second level because we were enthusiastic, we were interested. We had that learning adaptability, initiative. Do you take ownership or and go beyond what's expected? We will have, for example, now as GW coordinator, we will have ended in the 4 programs they asked us. But my partner suggested the talent show for the first semester. We use that to generate resource. Oh yes, guess what? My partner is Victor. Is the person I told you that just shared on his Instagram about having a resume that got him 18 interviews in 1 month. So you can check him online, Victor Jonah. And if you want to be able to get information from him faster, just text him and say, "Hi Victor, I'm coming to you from Gary. Hi Victor, I'm coming to you from Gary." All right. So you see that when you see us flying, maybe tomorrow, we all have stories to tell. All right. So what counts as an experience now is the question, because I've said so much, we have to actually put something set in stone. What counts as an experience? What counts as an experience? What counts as an experience? So you have more experience than you think. I'm sure from what I've told you, my stories, it goes to show you that you have a lot more experience than you think. School projects, research papers. Some of you are privileged to have research papers on campus, especially those of you that are in research-driven departments. Some of you had case studies that you did. You had presentations. That is what you do in real life. When you're working in a job, you research, don't you? Sometimes you have to write research papers depending on the field you are in. Sometimes you have to create case studies because they will form your SOPs, which are your standard operating procedures for the new staffs. They will form the documentation for onboarding for HR, case studies, presentations. You will have to, have what we call scorecards. At the end of the year, you will show what you have done in that department and then what you're looking forward to in the new year, right? That's our presentation slides. You did that on campus. Tell us that you did it. Capstone projects, right? Like I gave the IMF challenge as a capstone project, for example, that demonstrates research, analysis, and execution skills. Group assignments. When we're in 200 level, we did entrepreneurship. We came together. I think our task was to create this cage you use for generators. And then we came together as a team. We put resources together. We presented. We have pictures. Some of you have Instagrams and LinkedIn's. You have a segment on your LinkedIn called project. You don't have any project there, but you have done projects. Tell your friends you're not on LinkedIn. Everyone you did the project with, join. Just enter LinkedIn for my sake so that I can add you as a collaborator. Write the brief about it. Put the images. Group assignments will set you free on that level. Some of you are privileged to be in schools where you actually have core group assignments that are written together. Come on, put it there. Volunteering, community service. Some of you have not learned how to even capture. Some of you even served in fellowship like I did, right? You can capture that experience as a volunteering. Did you volunteer or not? Did they pay you? They didn't pay you now. So it was volunteering. Some of you did it for a whole year. Some for 2 years. NGO work. Some people come on campus and they are looking for volunteers, and then you just show up, you do registration, take pictures of yourself registering, and then go online and go and put it as a project work as mobilization officer because you mobilize people. You shed flags on campus, you mobilize people. Take pictures of yourself with their t-shirt, put it as a project, and then snap the project of the entire pictures of the entire event. Put it there. Add your friends that are collaborators that were co-ushers in the same events. They directed people. They are big grammars for these things. They want to see, but you have the experience. Personal projects. Some of you are privileged to be in the tech era, so some of you have started learning skills even on campus, right? From building apps, starting blogs. Some of you have your own personal blogs. That's a high-paying skill. Creating content. Some of you have Instagrams that are active. You're creating content is what you're doing. Then write about your Instagram as a brand, because you're a brand at the end of the day. launching side hustle. Some of you are selling products on campus. Negotiation skills comes out of that. You sell fabrics. Some of you sell vintages. You sell handbags. You sell wristwatches. Some of you even do drop shipping. These are skills. Freelancing. Someone just tells you, say, how far? I'm trying to start a business, so I need a logo. Can you use Canva to do a logo for me? You spend the night on YouTube. You learn how to do. You do the logo, and then you don't put it on your CV. You have graphic design skill. Of course you do. Writing skill, tutoring. When I was on campus, I was looking for money. A friend of mine came and said, "Oh, Gary, my younger brother is not doing so well in English and mathematics and some other courses. Can you teach him?" I said, "Why not?" Of course, on my resume, it will now read that I was once a tutor. And it's not a lie, I did teach. These are the things. Social media management. Are you not managing your own page? Come on. There are times your friends will have said, "Guy, it seems like you really know the social media thing very well. Oh. I beg, just to help me run a sponsored ad." And you did it for free. And put it on your CV. Course certification. Now there's a person, I think his name is Omo Alaji, something like that. I will check. Right, he's on Twitter. He gives coupon codes for courses on Udemy. You're a student or you're out of school, rush those things. Find the free courses in your field. If you're not finding free courses in your field, accumulate the ones that are not in your field, so that before you find opportunities in your field, you will use the experience that is not in your field to get a job. Then you can even come out and start being an entrepreneur and no longer be a 9-to-5er. Sometimes you have to start with what you don't like. Did it say I wanted to be a drama coordinator on campus? No. I didn't want the responsibility that came from everybody looking at me and saying, pastor, right? But pastor got me my first job as a programs officer. I didn't start as a program associate. I didn't start as a program manager. I didn't start as a program as assistant program. I started as a programs officer. I skipped levels. Why? Because I showed workings. If you call me Pastor God. But this is what it is. You have this experience. I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm shouting. I'm always passionate about it because I'm sure every one of you on this call have dangerous experiences that you did not think would matter in your CV, but it does. I wish HRs as enthusiastic as I am, because at some point I have done people's management, and so I had to liaise with the HR. When I go to CVs, what I'm checking for is not what you're looking out for. I'm not looking out for whether you have worked somewhere. Actionable things. Sometimes some people don't know how to represent it, but we'll find out as we go on, because representation is way more important than even the skill that you think you have. All right. So far, so good. If you're learning something, say I'm in the right place. Text it on the chat box. I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place. Tell me on the chat box. Thank you, Temi. Thank you, PBK. Thank you, Dan. Fantastic. All right. So let's move on. I'm glad that at least I have a good number of people in the right place. Now, how do you structure an entry-level resume? Right. First things first, see, some things are not rocket science, but they're available at your fingertips. You just have to look at your fingers. Now, what is in your fingers? Some of you have access to Instagram, you have access to YouTube, has access to LinkedIn, so many platforms like this. The first thing you want to do is search on YouTube resumes that make the mark. What makes something effective? You tested it and it worked. True or false? How did I come to a level where so far so good? I've done over 40 to 50, not up to, what am I saying? I've done almost 60, what am I saying? Almost 80 resumes in the last 6 years. Why? I did one that somebody got job, and I did not stop talking about it. And as I went ahead, I refined it. I have someone, I wish he would join the call. His name is Fred. I've gotten about 14 interviews from a resume I did for him. Did I go and I did not go to his school? I don't think there's a school for resume learning. I tried something out. It worked, and I took it off from there. Your header, you want to have your name, your contact info. Please don't go write your full address. Number 3, Idumota Lagos. Lagos, Nigeria is fantastic. Your LinkedIn profile, put the link there. If you have a professional email address, fantastic. If you don't, put your normal email address, but please make sure it's your full name. Don't have numbers on it. Make it clean and easy so they can just see it and see focus. A professional summary, 2 to 3 lines, because of course there's not so many things you want to write right now. Highlight who you are. Tell us how you use the skill to do what you did that made you stand out. All right. Tell us what your offer is. If I'm coming to your company, what would it be? What are your career goals? Because this is the succession. Who you are, what you offer, and what your career goals are, so that they know that you're in alignment. Or if you tell someone, for example, I don't know those of you that joined the call when I talked about Mira Murati, that her one vision was to change the world with tech. That's her only vision. You see someone write that thing on their CV. Yeah, rest assured, this person is not coming because he wants to just scale in position. The person wants to take my idea to the next level. And if you were lying, I'm not saying lying in your resume, but if you were lying at first, when you come on board and they give the responsibility of a visionary, you become a visionary automatically. See your professional summary as your elevation pitch, because it is skill selection. Don't just jump and just write all the big skills. Sometimes do research. What are the skills that are necessary for this particular role I'm applying for? Then check which ones do I have, or which ones does my experiences given me. Pen them down, list them there. Sometimes some of you, the fact that you can speak Hausa gives you an edge over someone that's applying for a job with you in Borno State. Write it. Write it. You learned French in school at even the beginner level. Write it. Put in bracket beginner. If you're intermediate, put in bracket intermediate. You really don't know what will make you stand out for a job. I kid you not. Sometimes maybe the recruiter, maybe a Yoruba person, and you put Yoruba language proficient. I said that's true. This person is Igbo but can speak Yoruba. I like this person. You're there. So the language that your parents forced you to learn, because some of us, they forced us, the one they forced you to learn, it is a skill for you. I kid you not. Because I look out for it sometimes when I go over resumes. It shows me versatility. When I see on your resume you can speak 4 languages and you don't have any prior work experience, why will I not give you the job? Because I'm rest assured that you will learn on the job. If you can learn 4 languages, which was not by force, you can learn on the job. These things are mind things. Experience section. Don't just think, okay, but there's no company, there's no formal offer letter. Your projects, like I mentioned, your internship. Sometimes you have to do free work on campus. Let that free work count for you. Let it materialize, because it's a seed. When you sow a seed into a business like an investment, it should yield. So all those your free work should start yielding, but they start yielding when you represent them on your resumes. Your volunteering, freelance, all those things you're being able for free. When I was on campus, I did assignments for people. So one of my friends was recounting this recently at one of our friends' birthday party. And you see this guy, when exam season comes, everybody wants to gather. And I'm not advising this, right? When you're in an exam hall, just teach everybody before the exam hall. But some people follow you to the exam hall. So I pick it, okay, those of you that want to sit down close to me in exam, let me go and teach you first. So that in case I will enter the exam hall and I can easily just tell the instructor, please, I don't like this seat. You will not swear for me. But that tutoring experience, I will not go and pen it down as I've taught people, which I actually did. Education and certificate, because as people you don't tell them no originally. You use a commentary. You tell them no, they will follow you to the ends of the earth. I will say, no problem, but just come to school, let's read. Sometimes I have a classroom, I will teach some of them. One of my classmates on this course, he can vouch for me, so let him know I'm lying. We'll gather them in a class, we'll teach you econometrics, teach you advanced statistics, teach you mathematics for economics, and then when we're done, will you still want to sit down with me in the exam hall? No problem. When I get to the hall, I'll come late. So that any seat I see, I will sit down. When I feel like there's too much pressure, how far, maybe someone is drawing my shirt, somebody trying to push my work here, I just give a signal to the supervisor, they change my seat, to the invigilator, they change my seat. But I'm changing, there's nobody can swear for me now. I'm a wicked person, because I say, bro, how you call me wicked? I thought you yesterday now. But I put it on my resume. Your education, your certificate. Sometimes you're applying for, so this goes to people that were applying for schools. Tell me what you're applying for a school. On your resume, under education, all you have is BSc Sociology. Finish. No. If they gave you an award, write it there. If your degree is more than second class lower, if second class upper, put it there. You did project, write it there. Even if the position they gave you was chief whip in your department, put it there, because it shows that you have leadership skill. So you can use that reason to put on your skills, leadership, and they won't question it. You're a floor member, part of the parliament. Put it there. Certifications. Oh my God. Allison gives free courses. Go and find. For some of you that are going to non-profit space, go and check Philanthropy University. You're on this call. Go and check Philanthropy University. All their courses are free. Certification is free. Go and take their courses and put it there. Don't wait till you can afford Prince 2. Prince 2 exam is worth $4,000, if I'm not mistaken. Don't wait until you can afford it. That's a project management certification, by the way. Don't wait until you can do CIPS for procurement that's costing you $800 per exam. Start from the ones that you are spending little to nothing. Let it get you into the room. And when you're in the room, make the most of it so you can accelerate in your career and be able to afford these things. So don't look at people in the house and say, these ones don't care about us. Maybe they don't, but you that have the opportunity now with what I've shared, make the most of it. Now, writing a strong entry-level CV, right? I already said it. Who you are, your current status of background. Tell us that you can lead a team, you can lead a unit of 40 people. It shows that you have leadership skill. Oh, I led a group of XYZ to do XYZ, to do XYZ. What can you do? Show us the skill. I will openly tell you every single day. That was my watchword everywhere I went. When I was on campus, I did not have to do it. We put together a program. We had over 1,000 people in attendance. That was the first program organized by students. Because naturally, people from outside come and partner with students, and then they throw their resources to make those programs boom. In our case, we're the ones that called them to say, we come and partner with us, but we already have the numbers. Just come and bring us speakers. That was what the partnership was. What are you aiming for? Your career goal? Tell them. Don't be afraid that they're your village people, that they will try and make sure that you will not get there. Tell them, because when you tell them, they see how big your scope is. And they see what kind of role they can give to you. If your scope is so small, I guarantee you they will not even employ you. Me, I cannot employ someone that cannot think big. I cannot employ someone that cannot think big. Your vision should be dangerous. It should be fearful. I should look at you and think that maybe you have one inheritance somewhere. That's when I know that I'm ready to work with you. You're a recent grad, so this is like a crash course or a crash executive summary for some of you. Sorry, so there's professional summary and executive summary. Please, if you're not started working, you have professional summary. When you have worked for like 5 years, you can say you have executive summary. Is that okay? You can put your resume in that executive summary. You're not there yet. Is that okay? No shades. You're not there yet. It's just being frank. You're not there yet. It's like saying, because you did all these things on school, on campus, you want to go and apply for a senior role. Nah, you can try, yes, but start small. So that way you know that your access is undeniable. All right. So recent guy with a degree in marketing and hands-on experience managing social media campaigns, because you have showed that in the projects already for campus organizations. You can name a few of them. So those are friends, you're having friends. If you're a student, you're having friends right now that starting small business. Tell them, don't worry, I'll manage your page for you, because their page are always going to be existent. Of course, check the ones that you're sure that they're going to survive. There are some people that just do business by so people not ask me where am I getting money from, and then next week they change their business. No, stick with the ones that you know they're going to thrive, right? So you can be able to put their links on your resume. You're skilled in content creation, analytics, and digital strategy, seeking an entry-level marketing role to help brands grow their online presence and engage audience effectively. Okay, I see your hands up. Sam, is that you?
Yes, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah. So great point. I really like that you're charging us with, adding our experience to our resume. Was also wondering, I think the hesitation most people have, or some people have, maybe that if they add a particular experience, would that steer them towards one thing that they're not really looking to do in the future?
Okay.
Like, how do you navigate that?
All right, fantastic. Now, two things, right? When you have an experience in a field that isn't something you're really looking forward to, you definitely cannot pen down every single experience that you've had. For example, if I'm applying for a programs management role as a student, you won't see me spotlighting that I did the IMF challenge under my school days. I will spotlight the programs that I actually did, whether be it in theater, be it otherwise, be it even on a departmental level. Even if I did not even do the program as a whole, maybe I just helped them carry bag of water that day. I will say I mobilized, I did fundraising for them, because that's not a lie. But why am I saying this? To answer your question, you have to be able to filter between what works for you now and what works for the industry you are going to. For some of you have these skills, but for the industry you are going to, it's not relevant. So you're going to have multiple resumes. It's hard work, but it's the right work. You have to filter. So, for example, some resumes will need you to have a technical skill. Some will need to have soft skills. Never mistake the two of them for the same. Some technical skills are not viable mixed with some soft skills for a particular role, and vice versa. For example, if your technical skill is technical writing, for example, right? That's what you've done. Maybe when you're in school, you wrote for 1 or 2 tech brands. Fantastic. But then the soft skill you're trying to add in the same scenario maybe is let me think of very soft skill. Negotiation skill. Negotiation skill and technical writing don't go hand in hand. Unless maybe the rule specifically asks for both of them. So why am I saying this? Sometimes you are skilled in so many things, but you have to still come down from your high horses. When I say involve, because all people, everybody say involve me now. When I say involve the skills that you have in your resume, I'm not saying put every single thing that you have. Just put all your, no. It has to be a trajectory. It has to relate to the job role that you are vying for. It's why I have to give the example. You can't bring technical writing and negotiation skills together on the same CV, even though you have done something for negotiation before and you have done some technical writing before. You have to draw a balance. For example, I have a business analyst resume. I have a business development resume. I have a management consultant resume. Right? I have an economist resume. I have a programs management resume. Do I have experience for all of them? Yes. I even have a content writer resume. I have experience for all these things, but you won't find the same experiences in the same thing. Sometimes even you can see that I was a programs manager in this resume, but the responsibility or achievements there are not the same as what it will be on a research analyst resume. I will share more about the research-oriented part of that role than I would on the program's resume. I don't know if that answers your question, Sam. So do you have to draw the balance, all right? As much as you have these skills, you have to be able to filter them and say, okay, as much as I have all these things are not expected for this particular role, I have to be specific. Else, I will be the one shooting myself on the leg. Because sometimes too many skills is no skill at all. Sometimes too many skills will look like as though you're lying. How did this person in 4 years on campus or in 1 year, because your dates will give you up, right? In 1 year, he did all these things. Sometimes you say be realistic. If you are the one behind the computer, would you look at this thing and be like, I don't trust this person? All right, so I'm going to run through the remaining slides so we can take the question. I think I had 2 people have questions. All right, so the common beginner resume mistakes: copy and paste CVs. Please don't go and copy responsibilities of a particular because now for some of you now, you may have even had maybe a volunteering experience, then you go and copy volunteer project management volunteer, the responsibilities, and you go and put there. No, highlight what you exactly did. So even if it's only 1 bullet point, it is better it is about you than it is about the entire industry. All right, so for example, saying that you helped in marketing is not enough. Rather, you say, I increase social media engagement by percentages. This is where reporting comes in. Sometimes for everything that you do right now, we're in a world where metrics are available, analytics are available. So you can go on Instagram and check when you started handling this account, how many followers are they having? What was the impressions? What were the engagements? How many is it now? That can now give you a summary of the percentage that you have done for them. Numbers and metrics make your impact. Numbers and metrics make your impact. Too long or too short. Please remove some details. Don't make it buggy. Don't think that the more the content, the more the experience. No. Because if you write as a customer service person, for example, you write, oh, I did this, I handled clients, I handled this, I handled this, I handled. Somebody who's just gonna write proficiency in CRM tools on their resume and they'll get the job before you. Simple. and they have one certification to show that they have CRM knowledge. They have dusted. If you like, have a very good degree. Irrelevant information, you're including primary school. It's not necessary again. Please leave primary school out of it. I can permit secondary school for an entry level. Sometimes I cannot even permit it. Your degree is enough. Hobbies are related to job. This is another thing. See, the fact that you like to pick beans does not mean you should add picking beans to your hobbies for a job that does not relate to picking beans. It sounds funny, and I had to use that as an example, but that is real life. The fact that you like to bake doesn't mean you should put baking as a skill, as a hobby for a project management job. How do they relate? I think this is part of what Sam was asking. You are good at it, yes, but it's not relevant to what you're applying for. Make sure you keep it professional. Some of you go and put on your hobby, like to party. No. We know it's your hobby, quite all right, but it shouldn't be there. Be professional. Be professional. All right? Poor formatting, inconsistent font. The font you use to write your name is not the font you're using to write the experiences. Come on. Have a unification. Sometimes some fonts, some of you want to use fantastic, funny fonts, all those Gothic sounds that they bend in a particular way. It's not good. If you're not using Times New Roman, if you're not using Geramond, if you're not using Aptos, these fonts that are very direct and they're bold, some fonts already show audacity. All those italics fonts, run away from it for your CV or your resume rather. All right? So let's reframe your story right now. This is where you guys are going to engage. And as you're engaging, everyone with their questions can now start penning down their questions. And then I give the key takeaways, next steps, and then we'll move on to the questions. All right. So you're going to take 5 minutes right now. Or don't take 5 minutes, actually. Take like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. All right. You're going to identify 2 experiences from your school that you don't even think about. But what I've said so far has stirred you to think about it. Think back to school project that you have done, think back to voluntary work, think back to freelance gig, think back to online courses, think about them, and then write on the chat box 2 experiences that you have overlooked. All right, that's part 1. Part 2, skills inventory. So list 3 skills that you already have. From what you can see now, from all the things that I've mentioned, you have seen that I actually have writing skill, I actually have design skill. Tell us on the chat box. So 2 assignments right now. You have 3 minutes to do this. All right. Tell us 2 experiences that you have looked at. Of course, I'm sure as I've been talking, some of you have already penned down some experiences. Tell us on the chat box. And then for the skills, do same. So 2 experiences, 3 skills. All right. So while you're doing that, we'll take this last segment, we move on to the questions, and then we call it a day. All right. So your key takeaways are your next step. All right. You don't need to have a job. You don't need a job to have experience. I've said this. I've stressed this. I started my career without a work experience before. Thank you very much. Part 1, tell us 2 experiences you have overlooked. Part 2, 3 skills that you have from what we have said. All right. So, like I said, you don't need a job to have experience. Your projects, your volunteering, your course. So, those of you that not joined us at the beginning, I'm saying this again, right? Your projects, those projects you did, those research works you did, those projects you did together. Some of you that did GST, I don't know which GST to be in your school. That have to do with entrepreneurship. Some of you had to join groups together to deliver a particular assignment. Tell us. It shows what they call it, team collaboration skills. It shows team spirit, right? These are things you want to pen down. You took courses on campus, put them. For some of you, right, the courses you did in your bachelor's, you did in your ND or your OND, these courses, the name of the course alone is a pointer. It picks ATS when you're applying for a job. For example, I'm applying for a finance job, right? And I did entrepreneurship as a course in school. But one of the courses I did was ACC 101, finance in accounting for finance. Under my education, I'm putting it there as relevant coursework. That's another thing you can do. Relevant coursework. So you pick the courses that relate to what you want to apply for, that will show you as competence. You put it there. Some of you are privileged to have done courses on Udemy, is fine. Put the ones that you actually did that you paid school fees for. Put it there. Skills can be built intentionally. Take online courses, like I said. So this one was for those that have not taken courses. Both of you that can take courses, work on personal projects, right? Seek opportunities to practice. That I can write a resume for someone today and get paid is because I've written several resumes for people before for free. So these are personal projects, right? I looked for opportunities when I started copywriting in 2020. One of my friends, his name is we call him ATM, right? Because his name is the A stands for Adigbeson. I don't know what the T stands for, but I know M stands for Matthew, right? So we call him ATM. He has his own real estate company right now. 2020, I messaged him. I said, "Guy, I know you have been doing real estate. Please, can I write a copy for you?" I wrote a copy for him free of charge. When he read, he was like, "Guy, this thing should be on a blog." I said, "I don't have any blog yet." He said, "Okay, no problem." But this year, as a company, so a company to company, we did a corporate profile for his company. I don't want to tell you how much he paid, but it was not 50,000 naira. It was 100,000 naira for a company profile. But as a time when I did copywriting for him, it was free. 2020, 5 years down the line, it's not 10K, it's not 20K, it's not my guy. Thank you. It was paid for, and it was decent job, honest job done, and the reviews were there to match. All right, your resume is a marketing document. Oh, the experiences and the skills, you're supposed to pen them and put them down here. So please tell us your experiences you overlooked. Tell us the skills that you have, right? That you have just been able to. These latent skills, you were dormant before, but now they're active from what I've said. Your resume is a marketing document. It's not just a list of what you have done. It's a strategic tool. It's why I said that I've done programs officer in one place does not mean that when I'm applying for a research analysis role, it's the same experiences you see there. No, I'll pick out the research part of it. Doesn't mean when I'm applying for a grant writer role, I'll just write, I organize 6 programs to impact 3,000 people. No, I will pick out the experiences from there that have to do with grant writing. We applied for grants to get this. We did fundraising to get this. And then lastly, start building your first professional CV. Start it today. If you don't have one, start it today. Use the structure and the tips from today that I've shared. Use those things that you think they're so little to create or revise your current resume and take action this week. Thank you. All right. I see we're so shy. We don't want to share the experiences, all right, or our skills. So I'll take those 2 questions that we have, and hopefully we'll be able to share our experiences before then, and then we call it a day. All right. So PBK, over to you to get those people that have questions. Let's take the questions before we go.
Oh, thank you very, very much for the session. It was so insightful. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. So if you have any question, please, you can signify by raising up your hands. Yeah, you can signify by raising up your hand so we can take questions as soon as possible. So does anyone have question? Dan, do you have question? Temi, do you have question?
Please, if you felt like I was shouting for you, I was not shouting for you. I was just very passionate about what I was saying.
No, it's totally fine. Okay, Temi has a question, and I think someone dropped a question in the chat box, so
Okay.
I'm just going to read it.
All right.
Temi, do you want to talk?
Yes. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you for the impactful session. So I wanted to ask, okay, so currently I'm trying to write a CV for a job of an agronomist, but I don't have, okay, apart from the fact that my dad has a farm and I spent most of my years going with him, seeing how he does it. I do not know how to incorporate that into my CV as a microbiologist and every other thing I've done. So I don't know if you have any tip that I can use to incorporate the fact that,
right?
Yes.
And you were going with him from time to time, right?
Yes.
What did you do on those days that you went there?
Well, I worked too.
What did you do?
Okay, like he has a rice farm, so uh, we do everything from planting, except for the plowing parts. I think from planting to harvesting to including beans. I think practically almost everything, just a few other things within plants. So yes, I was involved in all the processes they had.
But that's your experience.
processing.
You already have it. Okay, is it the representative of this experience you're asking of?
Yes,
Like how can you put it down?
because my dad's farm is not a like uh it's not a company or it's not a brand. It's not even online.
Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. So let me tell you something. I have a friend that is currently got an admission to school in one of the universities in Malta. One of the things he penned down there was that he managed his father's store. I can almost guarantee that he never went to that place. Is his father's store registered with CAC? I don't even think so. Right? But when it was time to write a reference letter, creating a letterhead today is so easy. You can create a letterhead, write your father's name, write the address, and then give it as a reference if they ask you for your father. Your father doesn't have an email address, you can create one for him. But don't let that hold you back from putting the experience you already have, because you do have that experience. All right. Everybody knows that we're in an era where not everybody has the exposure to be on the internet, but you've done the work. Don't limit that work. Write the name of your father's farm, all right? Then you want to now craft out a name. So here's what you can do. Take these minor things that you have done, right? Go to AI. Tell AI, I did these things in my father's farm. What role can I ascribe to all these experiences? It will give you a name or a suggestion or some suggestions. Find the one that is closest to the role that you are applying for in that ago thing you mentioned. All right, that should be your role. Then he has to tell AI to refine these experiences for you into core experiences. Of course, don't put that on your CV because that's AI. Some people will flag your CV. Copy it and take a AI humanizer and change the experience to human written experiences. And then, where necessary, if you have numbers, maybe you guys scaled your revenue from this amount to this, you cannot infuse it into the experience. And then, if they ask you for a reference letter, go on Canva, design a reference for your dad. You can use a free account to get a reference created for your dad, or go online and search later headed papers. Design one on Google, Microsoft Word, free of charge. Right? You design it, put your father's name. If he doesn't have an email address, create one for him, put it there, write your reference for yourself, and you submit it. If they ask for it, if they don't, you're good to go. But don't waste that experience. If I wanted to go into the hospitality space today, I would tell you that I manage my father's compound that has 13 self-contained apartments. They were abandoned for a time. I went there, I got plumbers, I got carpenters, I got painters, I refurbished the place, and in less than 3 months, we had 13 tenants effectively in those apartments. So I will sell that as an experience. I will take pictures of the house. Sometimes you take pictures of the farm too. Let your LinkedIn speak for you. So where your CV cannot speak, let your LinkedIn speak. Put your LinkedIn, if you don't have a LinkedIn, create one. Put it on your resume there, all right? And then on your LinkedIn, put that job as your experience. And where you have to add images of your father's farm. It makes your father's farm realistic without being registered. And where he can register, please register his farm. Is that okay? Does that
Yes,
help
sir.
you?
Thank you, sir. Yes. Thank you,
Are
sir.
you sure? Don't just say yes because we're on the call. Did it really help you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Gary. Thank you so much for this insightful session. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We hope to see you tomorrow by 6 p.m. with the same link. And please, let's do well to fill the survey form. I sent it to the in-call messages. So do well to fill it. Give us your feedback. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. I hope you've learned one thing or two. So tomorrow as well, we are joining this 6 p.m. Yes, the call is recorded. I know the call is recorded, so you can access our recordings. Just search for us on www.hailerz.com, or you just search it on Instagram, Hailerz Global Talent. You're going to see everything. You get access to our community as well. You can join our WhatsApp group to get access to lots of amazing stuff like this. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. See you tomorrow by 6 p.m. Don't forget to share the link. Don't forget to tell someone about Hailerz. Thank you, Gary, for the amazing session. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.